Recording in progress. Let's let the sound of this next bell bring us fully present to this bright spot in the universe right here and right now. Good morning, everyone. Like to introduce the What Else Is Possible band. And invite you all to stand and join in our first two songs. Yeah. Nice. And while you're on your feet, please turn to one another and offer the Namaste blessing. Namaste. The God in me honors and greets the God in you. Namaste. Namaste. All right, welcome. I'd like to welcome you to the Awakening Ways Center for Spiritual Living, where all that we ask is that you remain open to the possibility that you can remember what you're supposed to say, that you can change your entire life or whatever part of it you want to change by changing your mind. We exist to raise the vibe, and we envision a world that's joyful and happy. And whatever brought you here this morning, there's a lot of things that can occupy our attention and things for us to do in this world today. And we are all here doing this together. So whatever brought you here today, and wherever you go when you're done, welcome home. We've been waiting for you. So we have an affirmation today. I invite you to repeat after me. I step out of my comfort zone. I let go and let God. Joyously, I accept my good. And so it is. So Gina's going to come up, our practitioner for the day. And while she's coming up, I would like to let you know that we love to pray for you. Whatever it is that you might want to alter in your mind and in your life, we can help with that. And the main ways we do that is we have these salmon-colored sheets. You can fill out those forms, what you would like to feel or experience when the manifestation, when the prayer has been realized in your life. You can write that down. You can write it any way you like. You can also meet Gina in the lobby after the service for a 3-minute miracle, a short, quick oomph for this morning. You can also email us at info@awakeningways.org. And what else? We have BJ DiGirolamo holding the high watch, which means she is just sitting in the perfection that's here right now. So with that, I turn it over to Gina.
Thank you, Reverend DeLon. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to read a little bit from the 365 Days of Richer Living by Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker. And today, May 3rd, the title is, Today I Seek and Find New Opportunities for Self-Expression Through My Faith in the Power of God. To be effective, prayer must be affirmative, but it is not enough merely to affirm the presence of God. We must add to this realization the thought that divine intelligence is acting in and through us now. Prayer is not a wishful or wistful wishing, nor is it an escape from objective reality. To be lost merely in our prayers might terminate in an unconscious desire to escape the activities of life. Therefore, we affirm that the divine intelligence not only knows what to do, it impels us to act on its knowing. So I'm going to invite everyone to just turn within. And I'm just acknowledging that divine intelligence right now, and I know that it is the thing that I call God or the life force or the divine spirit, anything that anyone else is calling it. It's all the same thing, that I am connecting to that same source. There's only one. And I know that I am a manifestation of this source in my own individual way of expressing. And I know that each and every individual, every living being, everything on this planet and beyond is all a divine expression of the one source, and we are all connected to it. Therefore, I am connected to all beings, all things. And so I know that this day is such a blessing. I know that this service is divinely guided. I know that Spirit is expressing through each being in this sanctuary in all unique ways, whether it is a congregant just here listening and smiling to one another, that's Spirit shining through. I know it is in the beautiful vibration of the gong that Neil's playing and the bowls, that's Spirit. I know it's in the music and the lyrics from Jimmy and the What Else Is Possible choir, and I know definitely it's in Reverend Susan's talk today, that she has been divinely guided to deliver this beautiful message. And I am so excited to hear what Spirit wants to say to me, and I know it is speaking to each of us. And I'm just so grateful for this. I'm grateful for this community and the beautiful way that Spirit shows up as this community called Awakening Ways. It's in the love in each and every person's heart that we have for each other, for the feeling we get when we come here. It's just beautiful, and I'm grateful for it. And so I just release now this word, knowing it is all done, it's all manifested, and together we claim it by saying, and so it is.
Please rise and join us with this next song, because we are all going to be expressing love out loud.
Nice. Thanks, you guys. That's awesome. Well, now it is my great privilege and honor to introduce to you our speaker for today. And she is the example of expressing love out loud. And I can't wait to hear what she has prepared for us today, because Spirit has spoken to her and I'm ready to hear it. Are you? Reverend Susan Jones.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. I'm so tickled to be here. This is the first Sunday in a new month, May. And so the seed of awakening for May is presence. And I am not talking about birthday presents. I'm talking about the presence, right? And I am delighted that the theme of my talk today, talk title is Beyond Imagination. That really got me going. So now, here's another thing. The book of the month. This book is called The Wisdom of Insecurity, A Message for an Age of Anxiety. Right? So the first thing I did, this is Alan Watts. First thing I did was look into this book. And what I found is it was published in 1951. I was not alive at that time. I was not born yet, okay? But what was going on in 1951? Okay, we were terrified of nukes. We were terrified because we knew that the Russians had nuclear weapons. And we were totally frightened about that in this country. Now, I want to point out that Americans knew about nukes because we were the first ones that dropped them, okay? So, of course, we had context for it, and we saw what happened. We saw footage of it, right? And so in those times, in the times that this book was written, there was schools, businesses, churches, every place. They started these civil defense drills, right? You remember getting under your desk at school? Duck and cover. It just wasn't a slogan. It was a real thing that we did. We had food in our linen closet on the bottom shelf and water and batteries. And, you know, we do that now. We think about that for earthquakes. But back then it was about the nukes, you know. I remember being so scared as a little kid. Under my desk, my teacher said, "Don't look out the window. It'll burn your eyes." And I was just like, don't tell that to a little kid, right? It's like all I could, because first of all, you tell someone don't look out the window. What are they going to do? They're going to look out the darn window, right? Burn their eyes out. So it was a really scary time. It was a very scary time. And another thing that was going on at that same time was the whole Red Scare situation, Joseph McCarthy. So people could lose their jobs, their reputations, their friendships over accusations, sometimes with little or no evidence of communist sympathies. Teachers, government workers, entertainers, and ordinary citizens worried about being investigated and blacklisted. Fear became a social force. And then, on top of that, there was economic concerns. Inflation rose after World War II and during the Korean War. So prices increased, and many Americans worried about the cost of living. Does that sound familiar? Right? How interesting that this is our book of the month. It's so relevant in this time in our country. Every day when we turn on the TV or we open our social media feed, we're met with some new bit of disastrous news. And you know what? It's not just half of the country that feels it's a disaster. It's all of us, from every political viewpoint. Our imaginations, which have the capacity to take us to great heights, instead often take us to the worst scenario possible. We're all going to hell in a handbasket. Can you relate? So here's a great quote that I came upon as I was researching this talk. Worrying is like praying for what you don't want to happen. So in this book, it's interesting because I was reading this book and he gives an example about someone who's anticipating a surgery and how they can wind their mind up. Well, I actually had this experience last week. So I work part-time for a company called San Luis Obispo Caregivers. And so oftentimes I'm on the phone talking to prospective clients who need caregivers. And I was speaking to a man who's 65 years old, sounded young and fit and just on top of the world, right? And he was anticipating a surgery on his rotator cuff. Well, his situation is he was getting his left arm fixed, but his right arm was severely defected from birth. So the arm that was being fixed was the arm that he used to do everything. This guy was so nervous, and so he had a million questions. What kind of clothing should I get? What kind of food should I have in my house? What do I do? Am I going to need 24-hour care? How am I going to feed myself? I mean, he just kept going on and on. Now, what these guys don't know is they're talking to a minister when... So I'm just listening to him, and I'm saying, first of all, let's just breathe together. Let's take a breath. And he's like, okay. So he takes a breath. All right. And I said, now, when you get the surgery, he's going to Cedars-Sinai, which is a fabulous place, right? I said, these guys are not going to just send you home, not able to take care of your needs. Trust the system. Trust they're going to teach you what you need to know. And, enjoy your life right now. Like, really? Because he's anticipating this surgery, and he's just living in this state of fear, constant fear. And so we talked for a long time, and I could tell that he really just needed somebody to talk to and to help him calm down. And I love that. Actually, I'd rather do that than some of the other tasks that I have in that position. But, Alan Watts says the object of our dread doesn't have to be an upcoming surgery. It could be how to pay the rent, how to afford to fill up your gas tank, or maybe the fear and dread that we won't have enough money for our old age. Watts calls these spoilers of the present. I love that. And he says it might not even be the dread of the future, but something painful from our past, which is haunting the present with a sense of resentment, remorse, or guilt. Watts says the power of memories and expectations is such that for most human beings, the past and future are not as real, but more real than the present. For humans, it seems like the only way to happiness is through developing a sense of security. So having said that, why would we be studying a book entitled The Wisdom of Insecurity? Well, we're not talking about low self-esteem or lack of confidence here. Watts says that we humans spend most of our time trying to create a sense of security for ourselves. And it's usually through some outside thing, like a house, a good job, money in the bank, or maybe the doorbell camera, right? You get the idea. So back in the early 90s, I had a job as a receptionist for a home building company. And I started moving up through the company, and I had this goal that I wanted to make $30,000 a year. That was my goal. And it took me a while, but I finally did reach that goal. Well, the funny thing about that was after I reached my goal, I would have these yearly reviews with my boss, and he would say to me, among other things, he would say, how do you feel about your salary? And I would say, I feel pretty good about it. And he would say, well, I don't. I think you should be making more money. And I would go, okay, and I would take more money. This happened year after year after year. Now, how silly is that, right? Like, I reached my security point, and I was good. I was secure, right? Thankfully, I actually had a boss that would say, no, we're giving you more money, right? I mean, most bosses would say, good to go, 30,000 it is, So that was my little story. I have this great story I got from my sister Ann. I love sharing her stories. So she's a school teacher. She lives in Texas, but she also she breeds Friesian horses. And so she has the mares and she has the stallions and she raises these babies. So she was telling me, because I was talking to her about this whole idea of the wisdom of insecurity, and she was telling me about how when the little horses, so when the mom's getting ready to have her baby, Anne brings the mom into the stable, into the barn, into a stable. And the baby is born in the stable. And so for about the first week or so, That's all the baby knows. The baby knows mama, it knows the stable, it knows the sounds in the stable, it knows hay on the floor, but that's all it knows. And so Anne says she usually waits for a really beautiful sunny day when she opens the door to let the mama and the baby out. Well, the moms pop right out because, of course, they know what's out there. But oftentimes the babies stop right at the door, right at the threshold. And they're just like, I don't think so. And Anne will have to get behind him and give him a little scoot to go outside. And she was telling me, she said, I feel like that might be how God feels with us. Like when we're just standing there on this threshold and God knows what's out there for us. And we're like, I don't think so. I don't think so. And we're like, poop, we get a little push out the door. So Watts in this book says that there's freedom and opportunity beyond our imagination, because think about that little baby, or even me with my salary. My imagination only went to $30,000. That's it. So there's freedom and opportunity beyond our imagination if we can suspend the need to feel secure and instead embrace a sense of faith. We must make a clear distinction between belief and faith, because in general practice, belief has come to mean a state of mind which is almost the opposite of faith. Belief, this is Watts speaking, as I use this word here, is the insistence that the truth is what one would wish it to be. The believer will open his mind to the truth on condition that it fits in with his preconceived ideas and wishes. Humans tend to believe only in what they have a reference point for, from the past, something they've already known, preconceived, or imagined. Faith, on the other hand, is an unreserved opening of the mind to the truth, whatever it might turn out to be. Faith has no preconceptions. It is a plunge into the unknown. Belief clings, but faith lets go. Now, Ernest Holmes says this about belief. Belief is the conviction or feeling of the truth of a proposition or condition. Belief may go farther than intellectual assent, while faith embodies a trust and confidence. Belief admits of all degrees, from the slightest suspicion to the fullest assurance. Faith is a mental attitude so inwardly embodied that the mind can no longer deny it. Faith is complete when it is both a conscious and subjective acceptance. Faith may be consciously generated. In spiritual terminology, faith means a belief in the presence of an invisible principle and law which directly and specifically responds to us. The mind is a magnet, and we attract that which we identify, the self. If you are filled with fear, refill yourself with faith, for faith always overcomes fear. Belief is imagination. Faith is beyond our imagination. When I was thinking about this talk, one of the things I always do is just sort of ask God, what do you want me to say? What do you want them to know about beyond imagination? And what I heard was, me, I'm there. God is beyond imagination. So last week, I received a prayer request as a text message from someone. And it had a specific, there was a specific demonstration being asked for. But along with this prayer request, this person included these words. I know that God gives me all that I am capable of receiving. My consciousness alone determines the richness of my thinking. I accept the bounty of God. I feast upon the goodness of God. I think of the abundance that is now mine and thank God for it. Wow, right? So these words, this prayer, it doesn't say a darn thing about what is wanting to be demonstrated. It is a pure prayer of faith. How cool is that? I mean, if we could just pray like that all the time, right? Because, when we're praying for a certain thing, there might be something better out there. And, what if we lived by faith alone and we didn't have an agenda and we just let God show off for us? So a couple of years ago, Larry and I took a big motorhome trip. And we stopped in a place called Green River, Utah. Green River, Utah. And that's because it's kind of like very convenient to Arches National Park and some of the other beautiful places. Well, I had a big plan that we were going to go see the Arches. And the motorhome had another plan, which was it needed something done to its tires or wheels or something like that. So we had to go to this RV place, and it took half the day. And this was my day for the Arches. So we went back to the RV park, and I went into the office, and there was this little flyer, and it said, Goblin Valley, 5 minutes away. So I was like, oh, let's go see Goblin Valley. We took the Jeep, and we went over there. Well, let me just tell you something. Anybody seen Goblin Valley before? Okay. It's the most amazing thing you've ever seen in your whole life. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but you could Google it and see. These goblin things are red rock formations, right? But they're tall and individuals. They look like people or aliens or who knows what. There's thousands of them, thousands. You just look out, and it's like you're looking at a whole colony of people. It just blew my mind. Beyond my imagination. There's no imagination that could have thought up those goblins, right? Unbelievable. So, and I got to tell you, the next day we went to Arches, and yes, it's beautiful, and it's so crowded. We couldn't park. We couldn't get near the rocks because the parking spaces were all full. It was nuts. It was crazy. And the Goblin Valley was just like hardly anybody there. It was just amazing. It's just amazing. So I'm going to ask for the band and the choir to come on up and kind of summarize all of this for you. All right. So the wisdom of insecurity is that when we suspend the need to feel secure, which security might actually be boxing us in, right? We open ourselves to something beyond our imagination. When we replace belief with faith and let God do the work, the result is unexpected, and it puts us exactly where we're supposed to be. Now, speaking of right place, right time, yesterday I was completely finished with my talk. It was in my folder, in my bag. And so I decided to sit down and start working on the homework for the new class that is the treatment and meditation class, which just started, and I'm going to plug you can still join the class because we only had one class. This class is amazing because for every week we are learning spiritual mind treatment, how to do spiritual mind treatment, but we're also practicing a different method of meditation each week. So it's fabulous. So I decided to start doing the reading, and I was reading The Journey of Awakening by Ram Dass. That's the book we're using as our meditation guide. So I open up this book, and I start reading it, and here's this poem. And I knew that God wanted me to share it with you today, so I'm going to read you this poem, and then I'm going to really wrap it up. This poem was written by Nadine Stair. She's 85 years old from Louisville, Kentucky. And it's called, If I Had My Life to Live Over Again. If I had my life to live over again, I'd dare to make more mistakes next time. I'd relax. I'd limber up. I'd be sillier than I've ever been this trip. I would take fewer things seriously. I would take more chances. I would eat more ice cream and less beans. I would perhaps have more actual troubles, but fewer imaginary ones. You see, I'm one of those people who was sensible and sane hour after hour, day after day. Oh, I've had my moments. If I had to do it over again, I'd have more of them. In fact, I'd try to have nothing else, just moments, one after another, instead of living so many years ahead of each day. I've been one of those persons who never goes anywhere without a thermometer, a hot water bottle, a raincoat, and a parachute. If I could do it again, I would travel lighter than I have. If I had to live my life over, I would start barefoot earlier in the spring and stay that way later in the fall. I would go to more dances. I would ride more merry-go-rounds. I would pick more daisies. Isn't that sweet? So this week, your call to action is, number one, take a look at where in your life you are stuck in the stall, where you might be playing it safe, sacrificing what's possible for a sense of security. Number two, where can you simply apply faith, knowing that Spirit has something for you beyond your imagination? And then third, consider praying as Holmes prayed. I'm going to read this again, and we will include this in the e-news. I know that God gives me all that I am capable of receiving. My consciousness alone determines the richness of my thinking. I accept the bounty of God. I feast upon the goodness of God. I think of the abundance that is now mine, and I thank God for it. And so if you would like to go within and close your eyes if you feel comfortable. I know that there is only one power and presence, one creative, loving source of all that there is. And I know that that one birthed me into existence and is with me, as me, in all aspects of my life. And just as this is true for me, this is true for everyone. That we are divine expressions of the one, and that we are made of that. We are made of God's stuff. And I know that the divine mind delights in showing off for us, showing us what's possible beyond our imaginations. I trust this. I have faith in this. And so I know that that's true for everyone here, that the divine is delighting in showing us things that we would never have thought of before. Always showing us something better, something more magnificent than we could conceive of. And so I know for each one here that we can release clinging, we can release this sense of false security that things outside of us are keeping us safe. And just remember that God is keeping us safe. And that is the truth. And I am so grateful for this truth. I am so grateful for the loving source that lifts me and every person. And I'm so grateful for the God winks and the beauty that is shown to me when I listen and follow divine wisdom. And so I know that when I speak my word of truth into that creative action of the law, that demonstration happens. It is happening. And so I know this is true for each and every one of us, that our eyes are open to beyond what we can imagine. And I'm grateful for that. And so I can just release my prayer and let it go. And so it is. Namaste.
Nice. That's awesome. Blissfully. And how about that talk? Boy, that just spoke right to me. Thank you, Susan. Now is our time for conscious giving, so I'd like to invite the ushers up. Jen and Kat, thank you. Yes, you know, in my prayer, in my meditation this morning, the last minute, I was guided to think of someone or something that I just really love. And this is a loving kindness meditation. And what came to me was this community, how much love there is here and how much love we share with each and every one of us. And this conscious giving, that's part of it. The money that we give is part of it. It's all the flow of spirit in this world. So in that consciousness, if you would repeat after me. Hold your gift to your heart, if you would. Thank you, Jen. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and to bless and to prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. And it does great work in the world. And returns to me multiplied, abundantly. And so it is.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need.
Okay. All right, so I am just looking over this basket, knowing that everything in it is a blessing, and knowing that all the prayer requests that are in it are already manifesting into so much good, and every little bit of money and grand bits of money in here are creating so much good in this community, and as it creates good in this community and as it thrives, the greater community and then the world thrives as well. And so I'm just incredibly thankful for it. And so I bless it, and I know it does good work, and I release and I let go, and together we say, and so it is.
And now it's time for our announcements angel, Kat Alissi. Yay, Kat. Shiny blue.
Good morning. Hopefully you've noticed today that we are sharing all of our great events and announcements on the big screen over there. Woo. We will be doing this going forward at the beginning and ending of our services. Every event, class, and ongoing connection circles have details and sign-up sheets on the tables to the side over here. So, in the interest of giving us more fellowship time, I will give you a brief overview of some of these events and circles. Bidding closes in 2 weeks for our annual Gourmets for God Silent Auctions fundraiser. So head over to the tables after the service, and the volunteers will guide you in how it works and answer any questions you have. And there are 2 opportunities to connect later today. At 1 p.m., crafters can join together for Craft and Connect Sundays at Brew Coffee House in Atascadero. Then from 5 to 6 on Zoom, join Joyful Joni for Beyond the Book, Belief, Being, and Bliss. And tomorrow, Monday evening, is the Men's Connection Circle from 6 to 8:30 at the center. There is still room to join me on Tuesday at 1 p.m. for 5 Wishes, a sacred conversation series. This is a sacred journey, exploring how we wish to be cared for, supported, and honored at the end of life. There are 4 more sessions, so please see me after service for more information. Registration is still open for the Treatment and Meditation Spiritual Practices for Daily Living class. Whether it's your first time or you're seeking to repeat the class at almost 50% off, we are all welcome. This 10-week class is held Wednesdays from 11 to 2 p.m. in person at our center. Awakening Way CSL and Reverend Elizabeth are featured in the CSL Goodness campaign in the May issue of Science of Mind magazine. Woohoo! Pick up your copy today at the back table and check it out. You can also pick up a copy of the book of the month, The Wisdom of Insecurity, by Alan Watts for $20. Save one for me. Let's celebrate all of our volunteers and staff for making this service possible by giving them a big shout out.
Thank you, Kat. We have Sonia and children this morning, but I'm not sure where they are. So if you can hear me, come on down, but I didn't see them out there. Well, we'll see them when they come back in. In the meantime, why don't we circle up for our benediction and call and response? All right. In the spirit of this morning's theme, let's say these words as though we've never heard them. This is the first time, right? Sort of beginner's mind, open to the possibilities that they bring us new ideas. So if you would, repeat after me. Won't you know with me that you're never alone? Don't repeat after me yet. But exactly. But if you would, know with me that you are never alone, that God is where you are right now and always. And all that you ever need do is turn within. It is here that we are guided, sustained, directed, and inspired by a source that knows only good. Joyously, let us make use of these gifts in all that we think, in all that we say, and in all that we do. Now you can repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening as me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in my pocketbook. Life is in my relationships. I think it. I feel it. I believe it. I express it. Just the way that it is. and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life.